Y'all know Onkyo makes headphones? I know, right? So someone sent me this. Actually, they sent me a bunch of headphones. This is just one of them that I've been putting off. And I shouldn't be putting it off. Like, it's got qualities. And it's a great excuse to use out wallpaper. And everyone will be happy. Let's all be joyous during this event where Zeos does a headphone that none of you can buy because they don't sell it anymore. At least they don't on Amazon. This headphone is not that one. This headphone is the Onkyo ES-HF300, and it was available in black or silver. What they do still sell is the Onkyo ES-HF300 in violet or white. So, I mean, it's not listed anywhere on the headphone, so that's how I figured out which model it is. And this one is still available. It's $120. This one, according to Camel was $189, I think. And now it is no more. And I'm a little bit sad. But at the same time, I'm like, these are not the stock pads. The owner put these brainwaves pads on it. And from looking at the pictures, I agree. It's a round headphone. And the pads were round and they seemed cheap. $200 headphones rarely come with really nice pads. So, I mean, yes. A couple of interesting quirks and features of these headphones. The wire, like only 2 or 3 other headphones I've ever reviewed, is MMCX. So that means you get a right angle 4-pole, which is actually, it's a really nice flat right angle, I gotta point that out, into a twin, and they're advertised as like pure copper. Our wire's copper. And it's not a terrible wire. It's obviously designed for portability. It is 4 poles, so it has this little controller and the button, and it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. But if it's MMCX and it's Zeos 2019, he's got all the fucking IM cables. So I tried to swap a couple cables onto this and it didn't work. Because apparently MMCX connectors are finicky bastards. So I showed the connectors to Skedra Viking Weave, the man who modified this tin T3 cable. Remember the tin T3s? I sold them, but I said, fuck you, I'm keeping the cable. Well, here's what happened to the cable. I sent them all the way to the UK so that Skedra could simply put a 4.4 on this and make it balanced. So I could use this as just an IM cable for everything. And now I've got that 4.4 plugged in this adapter. Zeos will link, he has an email. If you want to email him, you can just buy a triple win cable that's cheaper than this, but there's issues, we'll get to them. I'll also link this adapter that takes it to a 4.4. I'm sorry, a 4.4 to a 4-pin. Not every MMCX plug worked. It was literally here. I've got, these are the FIO ones. I was like, oh, I used a FIO silver cable on it because it's the same thing. And it just wiggles. Like sound came out of one side, not the other. Like no matter what I did, it didn't come out. I had to try 3 or 4 things. I even tried these. These are, and I'm gonna have to find the website these are on because these are not Amazon. Optimization Elements MMCX-CIM Black Clear. These are converters. I unboxed these. Actually, just go to the unboxing. Features ES. Go to the unboxing. Post. I knew the link. And they just convert either 2-pin to MMCX or MMCX to 2-pin. And the company sent me this. This is why I have so many, because it's like $22 a pair. So you get 1 pair for $22. And they just sent me a shit ton because I'm like, I could use that. So I tried to use them on this. Figured it'd be a great way to break the ice with those. And I was going to use here this triple win cable, which is a 2-pin, into that. And nope. Nope. So even though it's a very common connector and you could absolutely improve the wiring, I had to figure out which one worked. And so far, only this one works. And I get to run them balanced. And then I get to tell you about the sound signature, which is probably some of the best low end I've heard in a close back in a long time. I still recommend highly, and I'm going to link, since you can't buy these, I gotta tell you something to buy. If you don't have or have tried the Sivga 006s, those are like mini baby TH900s, and I'm kind of upset that I sold them in the yard sale, and they should have been an RMAF. I don't want to buy no more headphones. I just want to get rid of headphones. Oh, pumpkins. It was Halloween. Headphones. But these, back to these, comfort fixed. You put them on, and it didn't need balanced to have bass happen. I made them balanced because I needed to test something, because there's a very, very specific thing these lack. They miss imaging. It's been a while. I usually, if I'm reviewing a headphone, either a company sent it because they're proud of it, or users have told me, you Zeus, you have to try the closed Verites, you have to, they're great. Or Koss sends me things and it's either fantastic or shit. So this is like a headphone that no one's talking about. And I think that's why I finally found one that has no imaging. And I've been talking about, like, oh, imaging, what's imaging? Describe it. Left earphone, right earphone, and then imaging is how well you can delineate sounds moving across that. And then wide soundstage comes in, and then imaging gets spread out and how well you can define it. And this has the old school problem of cheap headphone where it's like the sound is left or right or center, and that's it. It has okay soundstage. I think that might be in part to the wider pads. And I get a little bit of like a funky crackle distortion if I'm playing loudly, even with like vocals. So I'm not sure if that's just from age and use, or if that's part of the problem with the driver. But that wallpaper, because the low end, if you're not playing bassy music, it doesn't affect you, which means you're left with like a headphone without a lot of soundstage and a lot of imaging. So you're just sort of like going through the motions of like, okay, these are headphones. They're all right. They're just all right. These headphones are just all right. Right until you hit the song that has that like 20 hertz bell curve of like, what? Then you're like, oh, that's why he owns these. Because every one of those headphones up there is up there because there's a reason. They're not perfect. Nothing's perfect. I was going to include some anime girl or pasta, or actually, no, I make really good eggs. They're perfect. But nothing up there is perfect. Everything up there has got a flaw. And if I get enough things, I can have no flaws. I can listen to all my music with no flaws, as long as I listen to only the Sundara's natural airiness and the TH909's, specifically on that 50s tube, mid bass and low end. And then if you need like really sharp crystalline fucking detail, you go for the Aeolus. Like, there's a mixture there of perfection. It's just hard to get in one headphone. So if you had a wall of headphones, these would be up there, and you would say, oh, those have perfect low end. And I mean like clubbin' fucking low end. Clubbin' seals? No, my friend. Like Deadmau5 clubbin'. Perfect shuffle. Trevor Morris, Doom Upon All the World, from the Dragon Age soundtrack? Yeah, I don't even play Dragon Age, but I have the soundtrack. And it's just, track comes on and you get this like, someone, somewhere, hit a synthesized bass drum, and I felt it. So, I mean, if you need to rattle your soul, these are the headphones. And they're not terrible sounding on top of that. It's not like, well, they sound mediocre. If I paid $200 for these, cool cable-ish, they're built really well. This is all aluminum. All aluminum. Plastic insert here. This is plastic. It does fold flat, although it only folds flat in one direction. The headband is... I felt better. The top pad is... I felt better, but it's not that heavy a headphone, so this doesn't really matter. I wouldn't kick it out of bed or off my desk. And the cups make up for it. Like, if you're looking at a build quality total, these are nice enough that I sort of ignore this, but it's still there. So, I mean, all I have to talk about with these now is how low-end the low-end be. They're super efficient, by the way. They take an MMCX cable like an IM, and they're about as efficient as an IM. I'm on low gain here, and if I turn this up to noon, which is that way from my desk, these will kill you. Kill La Kill is now playing. Gotta rewatch Kill La Kill in 60 frames per second. I don't have much else to say. I mean, you can't buy them, so it's like, eh. If anyone has the other set that is still for sale, the FC300s, tell me about those. Because there is a pretty large chunk of price difference there. That's 80 bucks off. And they're the exact same headphone. They look identical. And they claim the exact same 40mm driver. Titanium driver. Does it say titanium? Yeah. And they both claim to be dual chambered for deep bass, where they're showing like a diagram of how it like goes out and around, and there's filling in there, and it's they claim it's comfortable for the long listening sessions too, and I doubt it with the stock pads. I can just see they are not the right size. But these are not the most terrible headphone. They're not the most terrible headphone. You probably can't buy them. This is like a retro review. If someone has the other set, the cheaper FCs and not the FHFs, tell me what you think about them. These are cock-rockingly good low-end cans that you can't buy, and that not every wire will work on. And you don't need balance. And the balance, by the way, did not improve the imaging. That was the reason I switched up and tried all these wires. Number one, because I can, and number two, because it would almost be a worthwhile investment to say, look for these. Find a set if you can get that imaging problem worked out. The little bit of crispiness in the highs happens rarely and only when I'm pushing it. So I would even like denote that. That's Zio's fucking up. But you need imaging. You need to have more than just left, right, center. Center, right, 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 center, right, more right, left. That's it. Keep it short today, right? You don't need to talk about anything else. There are so many good headphones down in the $200 and under range. You could almost not go wrong. I mean, I've got, what? The M40Xs are still up there. Again, you got to change the pads, which brings them right to 200. Anything else up there that's under 200 and close back? Monoprice Retros. Those have more bass than these. These have cleaner bass. These do more perfect bass than the Monoprice Retros, but the Retros are $30 fucking. Link to the Retros, well, they have an attached cable and you need to change the pads again, but like that's like, I'm expecting like a cheap headphone. If you could just do one thing right, whether it's comfort or low end or imaging, as long as you can do one thing right for under $200, you probably get a recommendation here. Or build quality. But you just fail on a couple things and no one can buy them anyway, so we're moving on. That wallpaper, you're fucking welcome, by the way. Available in the description. Every wallpaper I've ever used, $2 patrons. If you want to see these reviews early, participate in the yard sales. Now this is going back to its user. If it was purchased by me and I'm like, all right, I reviewed it, I'm done. Everything I review that I don't need or anything that company sends me and they don't want me to send back, yard sale from the 1st to the 10th of every month. $5 buys you a ticket. You throw in your bid anonymously. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. I pay shipping US. Half shipping if you are international, no matter where you are international. And let me tell you, I do not want to ship to Poland again. But if you're in Poland and you fucking win a bid, I'll pay half the shipping. Some other things coming up. Obviously tubes and speakers and gaming headsets and things. $10 tier gets you into the private Telegram chat, which if you've ever spent any time in my public Telegram chat, it's a little bit nicer in my private one. The Discord is a goddamn wild, wild west, though, so be careful about the Discord. But the Discord exists, the Telegram chat exists. Oh my god, Hi-Fi Guides exists. I really should be pushing that more and towards the beginning of the video. Please check out the forums. Use the site if you want to do, like, if you don't know what you have or need. If you know what you want, but don't know what's out there that we approve of, and by we, I mean the general consensus of my fan base, myself, a couple of the reviewers, HiFiGuides.com is your one-stop shop to whittle down your choices. There's going to be more questions. We're going to figure out which questions we need to ask. But it's basically like, I will have a $200 budget and I want an open back set of headphones, and do I need an amp? I don't care. Skip that question. And then it lists all the headphones. So we're going with that. The forums are actually pretty booming, although I do have to fix my credit card on the email client. I probably shouldn't be brainstorming this stuff on this video, but welcome to Z Reviews. No fucks given, obviously. Sound demo in the description for these, and I'll see you all tomorrow.